today we're going to work on the 74 Ghia. We're going to put the rear suspension together, and since we're only doing kind of like a little sporty car, we're not necessarily going high performance. And the car was pretty level when it came in. We're going to reuse the factory torsion bars and kind of set them up at a sporty drop, and we'll kind of get into the details, the degrees and everything, so you guys can understand the final stance later. But one of the torsion bars has an R, one of those has an L. You can guess what that's for. Hope you know what R and L stand for. And it's not our freight company that we use every day. So we're gonna get started. So this is a process that can take some time. What we're trying to do is match them so that they're even, and there isn't a spline, there isn't a tooth count, there isn't anything that would be 100% accurate. This car is 26 plus 22, 48 years old. The amount of tension on the arms, it can relax on some of the ears, some of the torsion bars, depending on weight that's on it. We're going to go with Airkewld, which is by degrees, with our magnetic protractor, and we have a factory Matra 245A tool, which kind of gives us a level marking wherever we put it. Hangs on the torsion bar, pretty cool. So we're going to try that today, and you get to watch. Also have two different types of donuts. One that fits the shape of the inner, and the outer, the cap is round. So that would be the outer. Pretty easy to figure that out. Both of these were purchased from Wolfsburg West. This is at 12.5 degrees roughly, and it's probably good to go. 12.5 degrees. I have to use a tool to bring it up to location. That's 12.5 degrees roughly with the Matra 245A. I'm reading it wrong. It is 7.5 degrees. 7.5 degrees. Scratch that. This one says more like 9 degrees. So we're gonna go with 9 degrees on the Johnson Square, 7.5 on the Matra tool, and we're gonna go from there. We're gonna go to the other side prior to that and see if we can put it together and get the same measurement, and then we'll index them up and get them on. So we got both of them at 9 degrees right now, and we're going to tap them in with a rubber mallet to kind of get the spring plate into the bushing seated all the way, and then we can get the torsion cap on and kind of get the bolts aligned, and then we can use our little handy dandy tool to lift it up and kind of get it into place before we tighten all our bolts. this and duct tape back and forth to each other. So. Now it's above the perch, so now it's squeaky. Joey's going to take over now, and we're going to work on the rear, what we call IRS diagonal arms. These have been ammonia dipped and powder coated after being checked, straightened, deburred, bushings pressed out. We cleaned all the components, bead blasted them, checked bearings for wear, and now Joey's going to be packing them with a red bearing grease. We use a Valvoline. I'll kind of link it in the description. I got this handy dandy packer from Amazon, also in our tool store that we have with Amazon. And one of the first things we're going to do is there's two different bearings. One that's a roller tapered roller, or excuse me, a roller bearing, and one that is a seal bearing style. And this one that we're putting in currently is all caged together, and there is a distinct difference when you're seating the bearing. First it's kind of tinny, and then it kind of hits a thud, so be cognizant of that. After Joey puts in the snap ring, we're going to install the seal. And we do this, you can apply a little grease and a rubber mallet to get it kind of get started and centered. And then we use a seal, a race tool flipped upside down for the same outer diameter, and we tap it into place. Once we've verified that it's good to go, we need to lube it. And there is a V channel within the seal that needs to be packed. It's going to be the only time that's ever going to get service, so you need to fill that V groove. The seal will not burn off if you pack this V groove with the seal. So now we're going to go through the other side, and we're going to do it in 10 times speed to kind of show you this done. Joey's done enough of these. He's got it down pat. Give Joey a like if you did a good job. Together now we're going to install the IRS pivots. We're first going to lube the bolt areas where our old, now blued hardware is going to be installed. We used a poly bushing this time. All the current bushings that are available are oversized, and no matter how we tried, we really couldn't get it to fit. So we went with the poly one. We did this one on the giveaway chassis, had some good luck. So now we're going to put the factory hardware that we cleaned, we bead blasted, we chased, and then we blued it, and we used new washers and new nylocks to assemble this. Pretty straightforward. We're going to fasten this and tighten it down in a orientation that isn't going to be aligned. This is something that has to be on an alignment rack, and so once the final weight of the car is kind of put together, engine, headliner, seats, all that is kind of put in place, then this will allow us to slot it in space, as you can see the movement we have, to get proper toe in. So you want to get this tight first. determined our ride height. We're going to use a IRS lowered shock. This does not lower the vehicle, it only dampens the vehicle at a lowered ride height. We're using our stainless steel shock bolt kit, and we've used anti-seize. Need a little oomph with Joey to kind of set this bolt, get it in place, and we use a little rubber mallet dead blow to kind of get it going in the right direction. Now all we need to do is get it tight and move on to the next one. Now we're going to repeat the same steps we did on the passenger side, and we're going to do it on the driver's side. First time ever, we're filming in 4K, and my GoPro 8 overheated, so I lost some footage. So we're going to give you as much as we got for your enjoyment.